Welcome back. It is session 11 now, and we're going to look at the liar. Now, we're going straight into this session about the liar. And you will all have the handout entitled The Rules of the Game. I want to talk you through this handout, and then I'm going to ask you to use it as a worksheet. If you look at your handout, there's a box at the top of the page and it says Rules of the Game. The rules of the game are the beliefs of the dominator. They are quite clear. It is how he expects things to be in his house. So, for example, I expect my tea to be ready when I come in from work. I do not expect my partner to have any friends. She must provide sex whenever I want it. These are the beliefs of the dominator. They are unemotional. They are absolutely the way he sees a relationship to be. It's normal for him. These are not beliefs. These are facts, how a relationship should be. The rules of the game are kept in place by the abusive behaviour of the dominator, which is in the next box. If he has a belief that he should have sex on demand, then obviously the sexual controller will keep that belief in place. If he has a belief that he should have his tea on the table when he walks through the door, the tactics of the king of the castle will keep that rule in place. However, there comes a time when we break the rules, often because we don't know what they are, because one of the rules is that we are expected to guess them. So we break them. We say no, we leave. We don't know that he decided to change the amount of sugar he has in his tea. We're supposed to guess that, and we don't. So we break the rules. It is interesting to note, when we're talking about this rules of the game, that most women are killed or injured when they're leaving a relationship. In other words, we've broken the rules. We're not allowed to leave. He's the one that says we should leave. When we break the rules, his beliefs about women come under threat, and he feels feelings of panic and powerlessness and outrage. This should not be happening. It's like the dog answering back, and if other men realise that I'm losing control of my woman, they will not respect me. They will think I am not a real man. And don't forget, our dominator's biggest fear is that other men should disapprove of him. He's very frightened of them. He's frightened of men thinking he's gay, not a real man. That is his biggest fear. So, in order to get the rules back in place and remove any possibility of being considered anything less than a real man, he needs to get the rules back in place. And in order to do that, he needs to use violence. However, if you ask an abusive man, is it okay to hit women? He is very likely to say, only if you've got a reason, or if they deserve it. In other words, if you've got an excuse. And the next part of this cycle involves him giving himself excuses to hit us before he does. Those of us that have been on the receiving end of male violence to women know that there is a time before he hits you when there really is nobody there. You know, you can speak and shout and wave at him and he doesn't appear to be seeing you. The lights are on but there's no one home. And the reason for this is that he's having a dialogue with himself. He's giving himself a reason to hit us. Lots and lots of reasons to hit us. He's saying, for example, who the fuck does she think she is? What will other men think if they know what I'm putting up with? I work my butt off all day for that fat slag, and all she does is sit round with her slag friend Sharon watching Neighbours. I don't know if they still have Neighbours, but watching Big Brother, watching Trisha, anything. This is part of the wind-up. He'll also call us names during this process, because it's easier to hit someone if you don't see them as human. So in his mind, he'll be calling a slag, slut, cow, whore, bitch, and he'll be using quite a lot of obscenity too, because everyone's wound themselves up at some stage or other. We've all done it. You give yourself excuses to be unpleasant or to use violence before you do it. When he's sufficiently wound up, which can take minutes, hours or days, he will then use violence. But that's okay in his mind, because he's had his excuses in advance. Once the violence has taken place, he then gets the rules back in place by slipping into the tactics of the liar. He will use minimization. He'll make it less than it was. He'll use the only word. He'll deny anything happened. He'll say something like, I don't know who did that to you. It wasn't me. And he will blame everything under the sun, but he will not take responsibility.